now time to open your wallets and keep an eye on things in there. And to help us do that, Drew Blazsik from Adrian College, and of course a good friend of ours, who is in studio with Faith and Finance this morning. Hey, Drew,
Good morning,
how are you?
Drew.
Good morning. How's it going?
Doing great. How are you this morning, sir?
Hey, Dave, if I walked away disgusted last night, it's because there was grapes inside, okay? It was delicious. I did not. No, it was a great talk you had last night. I loved it.
Brother, I looked at you. You were sleeping. How in the world would you know? You were snoring. I didn't want to point it out.
I needed nap time, so I think that really helped me out. When I got home, my mind was refreshed, and I was ready to get some work done when I got home, so I appreciate it. But I'll tell you, what's great about talks? There's a lot of motivational talks out there, but you give an applicable thing that I could bring home, and I actually could apply it to my life, which was creating blessings for the children. I loved it.
Praise God for that. There you go.
So I love those kind of things. Those kind of talks will stick with you for years and years. The ones that don't have those practical things you bring home, you cannot.
So Dave is making a note right now. Next time I should charge a fee.
You should.
There we go.
But it did rain on us after a little bit.
It rained a little bit, but it was a blast. It was wonderful hanging out with the guys. Just fantastic.
It was good. It was good. So got some economic news, and I got some investing tips from the Bible.
Oh, good.
The upcoming August employment report, which comes out today, is going to play a very significant role in what our friends at the Federal Reserve does. And it has to do with the interest rate cuts. So people think our economy is so close, it's teetering on both sides, that if the job report is very bad with jobs, that they're going to do a 0.5 point cut. If it's not as bad, it's a quarter. So inflation supposedly is going down, they tell us. But if now, since jobs and the unelected officials at the Federal Reserve wants to impact our economy, they're going to start cutting rates. They think that's going to help the economy. Now, historically, anytime they start doing this at this time, we talked about this before. There's an inverted yield curve. Historically, that is a sign for a recession.
Well, and also, Drew, we have to keep in mind, right? These job reports are most often way off. Like they came back and re-reported June as being extremely off.
We got to remember, they're a lot of these people are hired by the politicians, and they might have certain. You're right. I forgot how many jobs that they had to adjust the last report.
247,000.
That's
they
a
had
lot.
to adjust downward in June.
So in other words, the report today might be what the direction the Federal Reserve wants to go. That's how the report's going to show.
Which is scary that it could be impacted by something that might be changed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, how much again? 224,000 jobs they added last time. That's pretty crazy. Other in the news. Now, I don't know how I'm supposed to say the name on the air. So maybe you could help me. Kamala? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Kamala.
It's Kamala.
Kamala.
Yeah, Kamala. It's like a comma.
Kamala.
No, it's
Kamala.
I'm gonna never forget that. Kamala. Okay.
Well, they had her nephews and nieces at the Democratic Convention actually explain that to everybody on the convention floor.
Oh, good.
Now, you should have a seminar, and you could train people now on that. I think that's great.
There you go.
Which should be fine right until the time I press the button and turn his mic off.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
So she wants to do price controls. She's specifically talking about food. Do I think that she would do something so dramatic like that? I don't know. I think that's just a crazy thing to say on the campaign trail. But do people understand what price controls does in the economy? What it'll do is it limits suppliers of what price they can charge. Therefore, and if you look at a graph how that works, you have more people that would want to buy that product because it's cheaper than what the market would say. Right. However, no one's going to supply it because they're not making a profit. The reason why it is a certain price is to cover their costs. It's not like, I hate when they say gouging, price gouging. Market driven is because this is what the market is with all the costs that the economy is going through, and is driven by the Federal Reserve and the spending in the federal government. So the very impact that these politicians created are trying to create now price controls. And last time we had it, I think it's in the 70s with Richard Nixon, and they showed that price controls do not work. And suppliers will get rid of their supply because it's not profitable. And they show, you can watch a documentary called Commanding Heights. It's free on YouTube, and they show suppliers, farmers is getting rid of chickens, is killing them because of price controls. So it's a horrible thing to happen. And it was brought to you by the politicians.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All these wonderful ideas. Does anybody actually think through them? Like, did anyone go, that's communism? Well, no, I didn't know. It's crazy. We live in a free market for a reason.
You know, be an interesting thing to look at is all the things they say on the campaign trail over presidential campaigns. How much do they actually implement? Or is it just words to try to get votes for certain people?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I
don't.
don't.
The State of the Union address, you could do the same.
I think the majority of them really don't do it. All right, so I got some great biblical advice about not just investing in paper stocks, but actual ventures. They call diversification. You do not want to invest your time into one thing, because if that does not work, it will. You could be wiped out. Most people that do these investments, they say you need to invest in about 7 to 9 things. But what do you think the Bible states?
Yeah, what does the Bible
What does the Bible say?
I'm
The Bible actually
interested to
talks
hear
about
this.
it.
Really?
This is interesting. Ecclesiastes 11:2 says, invest in 7 ventures, and then it says yes in 8.
My goodness.
You do not know what disaster may come upon the land. That's
Really?
kind of interesting. So
Wow.
it says
Great.
we should diversify into 7 or 8 ventures, which is not just stock investments, but whatever you're doing in life, don't just stick with one thing, because it could wipe you out financially.
I just
Interesting.
love that.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting. And I got another one, which is kind of controversial. And we live in the creator, I forgot the guy's name, that created the 401k, admitted he did not like what the 401k did. The 401k destroyed the family, as in the parents aren't involved with the kids anymore. They used to always live together. And he admitted it kind of broke up that family structure.
Really?
And 1 Timothy 5:18, actually 5:8. Anyone who does not provide for their relatives, so I think it's talking about intermediate, your family, your parents, anybody who needs help, and especially for their own household, has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever.
Wow.
That's pretty strong language, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of a interesting quote there.
Well, I love this, that you wouldn't expect to find, this advice. I mean, traditionally we think the author of Ecclesiastes is King Solomon, who was supposedly the most wise man in the world, giving a little bit of investment advice. I like it, sir.
Giving a little investment advice, but later in his life, he may have needed his own some advice. He should have read his own works.
He should have
There you go,
diversified a
baby.
little more, yeah. Drew Blazsik, as always, very enlightening and very informative. Appreciate that.